Hi, this is Evan with High Pro Strategic. Today we're going to talk about the 3 different positions of shooting with pistols. It's going to be retention, center chest, and punched out. And I'm going to show you how to get to those positions, and I'm going to show you why each of those positions is important. All right, guys, so the first thing you got to do is you've got to know how to draw. There's a 6-step process, and a lot of different places teach it differently, but it's all generally the same. And what it's going to be is hand on gun is your first step, defeat all retention devices. Second step is going to be straighten up out of the holster. Third step is going to be rock. And when you rock like this is a shooting position. This is called retention. So when you come out of the holster, you want to bring it straight up and out and immediately twist so that you can get shot on target. And this is for when you're up close to a target or up close to a person and they're trying to take your gun, or they've got a knife or something like that, where you want to be able to use your other hand to protect and try to keep them off of you. And if you end up shooting your hand in the process, that won't kill you, especially if you're carrying a tourniquet on you. You'll be able to put a tourniquet on your hand and you'll be okay, and at least the bad guy's dead at that point, and you survived that encounter rather than him stabbing you a whole bunch because you were trying to get your gun out, or him taking your gun and killing you because you did this. So this is what you want to practice first, and then from here it goes to center chest. And when we're at center chest, the reason this is important is because if you're in like a hallway or in a room, or you're up close, but you might have to shoot somebody on the other side of a room, well, you can't really aim when you're at retention, but when you're here, all you have to do is angle your body towards your target and you can reasonably hit it. And then the third step is punched out. Everybody knows punched out. This is the most popular shooting position, and this is the easiest with both hands. Okay, so with retention, you want to be within arm's reach of your target. So you want to be able to touch the target. This is how close you should be when you're practicing retention shooting, because any other distance, you shouldn't be retention shooting. Now, with retention shooting, you can add other things into this drill that will help you out. Maybe one of them might be backing up from the target while you're shooting. Another one that's popular I've seen is when they have like a stick hanging out and you got to knock the stick out of the way and then shoot the target from the draw. So all of those are good. The main thing is safety. You don't want to keep your hand out here while you're shooting, because obviously you're on the range, you're practicing, you don't want to actually shoot your hand. So it's going to look something like this. Make sure to touch the target. And so for practicing purposes, for me, I like to put my hand up here. I've seen other people have your hand up here with your elbow up. I'm not a fan of that. I don't really understand why you'd want to expose your arteries to the bad guy and practice doing that while you're shooting. Making sure your hand's up here to push or deflect while you're shooting seems more practical. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you guys. Okay, and once I'm done shooting, I want to make sure my finger's off the trigger like this, and back to the holster. All right, so your next position of shooting is going to be center chest or pressed shooting. There's all kinds of different names for it. I like to call it center chest. What we're going to do is we're going to come up out of the holster, twist, rock, and lock from retention, and from retention we're going to put our hands together right at the center of our chest like this. From this position, you're going to be wanting to shoot any distance from retention to about 5 yards. That's about how close you want to be from center chest shooting. And if you think about it, maybe like within a room's distance is what we're talking about shooting with pressed shooting. Especially if you're coming around a corner and you're pieing or something and somebody's right there, you want to be able to shoot them. So it should look something like this. Pieing around a corner, and now see how I am able to hit the target much more center, because that's where my gun's sitting on my chest. And if I'm looking around like this, and then, oh, there he is. And now I got to do a reload here and back to center chest if I need to. Some other drills I've seen people do with center chest is you have another target set up right in front of that target, and when you pie around that corner, you've got something to simulate a barricade of some sort, so you can practice center chest shooting rather than sticking your gun out and putting it around, or keeping it pressed out like this when you're coming around. And you can do that, but if you're in a hallway or in a tight quarter, you might have to do this. You might not have enough room to punch out like this and pie a corner while you're punched out. And that's why center chest is important. Punched out shooting, any distance you can do punched out shooting. I've seen people do punched out shooting at 3 yards, you know, shooting little circles and such like that to work on marksmanship fundamentals, and that's great. So we're just going to go ahead and do punched out shooting. I'm going to try to shoot the 0 on the head here. Hey guys, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you would.